How's everybody doing today? Looking forward to a good show, I hope. Just to let you all know that we do have a few changes here and a few changes there. For example, now we have a QR code in case you would be kind enough to donate during the show. I would really appreciate it since we're not quite monetized yet. So just put that up there. Today's show, we have Words of Paradise, aka Leon, if you're familiar with him, and his wonderful bird, Hondo. And we will be talking about video games versus their live-action movie adaptations, which a lot of us know don't normally go very well. So before we get started, just like to say hi to a few of the people in the audience. We got Rio, how you doing? Sark of Iron, Donovan, Sonia, Bend Over, so let's get started. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Frankly, as someone who has been playing Halo since literally the OG Xbox days with Halo Combat Evolved, I'm ecstatic about this news. And to be fair, I never once, not one singular solitary time, saw an episode of this television show. From the moment I heard Master Chief's helmet would come off, nope, done, outski. It's not Halo, sorry. I can't do it, son. And then I had to sit there and I had to be on panels of like Saturday Night Hypnosis when I heard about Master Chief clapping alien cheeks. Not only just homie got the helmet off, body armor off altogether, and he busting nuts instead of busting Covenant skulls. Bro, what was this? I remember seeing the trailers. I remember thinking, this looks like Halo. It's kind of a visual treat. But then the show happened, and then Season Dose rolls around, and frankly, by a lot of folks' admission, it's even worse. Oh yeah, they fixed XYZ, only to add problems A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And those problems aren't LGBTQIA, although those are problems as well. Paramount Plus' attempt to cash in on the video game adaptation renaissance has flopped. Halo TV show canceled after just 2 seasons.
Hello.
Thank you. Look at that. What a great advertisement for one of my older videos. My format was a little bit different and whatnot. Thank you.
Yeah, but nevertheless, your shows still kick ass.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm stoked to be here. This is going to be a good conversation. Yeah, video game adaptations are often absolute dog shit. That being said, I still love a lot of them. So, yeah, I can't wait to talk about it. How you doing?
I've been doing great. Believe it or not, I actually almost slept in a little bit too late. Almost would have missed my own show. And poor John would have been left doing it himself. So... nevertheless,
we've all done that. I've slept in missed streams before. It happens.
But I'm just starting out, and that would be very embarrassing.
Yeah, that's true. You don't want to set a precedent like that early. So, yeah, congratulations on starting a new stream. Way to go. This is going to be awesome.
So, as you can see, people, I'm using my face cam for a little while, at least temporarily, until I get a better one. So if I seem like at a distance, I am sorry.
Even a poor quality face cam is better than no cam in my opinion, because it gives the audience, the guests, the whole nine, like a better read on your facial features, the way you move when you talk, gesticulations, things like that. So yeah, no, I think that's a good call. I appreciate you doing that for me, because I have trouble knowing how to respond to people if I can't see their faces. It's why I love Dragon Slayer commentaries to death, but without being able to see his face and whatnot, it can be difficult. So
understandable. So let's get to the first topic, which is Sonic. Since we know you love that.
Absolutely, we'll start with the best. Let's do it.
All right.
I'm gonna be up on that stage too, right beside you.
Yes, Ugly Sonic, that's the spirit.
And they'll like me for who I am. Not like last time when the internet got one look at my human teeth and burned the place down. Okay, let's see. Anyway, now my luck has shifted. I've been offered a new reality show where I do ride-alongs with the FBI. It's called Ugly Sonic, Uglier Crimes.
Really? A TV show? You?
Yeah, is that so difficult to believe?
Oh. I guess not? Yeah, you know what? That's great.
I would have seen the movie anyway.
And that's what people thought when they first saw Sonic, Ugly Sonic. They were like, nope. Mm-mm. Even I flipped.
I would have seen it anyway. I'm such a Sonic fan. I would have seen it anyway.
So, a lot of people did have their doubts about it strictly because of Ugly Sonic, and then of course, you have the diehard fans like you that said, "Fuck it, I'm going to see it anyways." Did you have doubts at all?
I have doubts anytime there's a video game adaptation that's being put to screen. But that being said, I also try and find. I love tearing things apart. I love it. Look at my channel. I like to be analytical. I like to have thoughts, opinions. However, there are a few things I will cope and cap for. Sonic is one of them. So that being said, I love these movies. I absolutely adore these movies. Games are still better, but I like these movies a lot. All three of them.
Yeah. I was a little late in catching Sonic 3. But when I saw it, I was like, okay, I like this. I love it. The only thing that irks me when it comes to game movies or comic book movies is when they change the lore or they get the appearance of the characters wrong. Now,
go on. I'm sorry.
Now I liked what they did in Sonic 3 with how they got the appearances and movements of Shadow right. I loved everything they did with Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails. What irked me, though, was Eggman's grandfather. He should have been dead.
I would say, yeah, lore change wise, the Sonic movies have been changing the lore since the first movie. I was not surprised at all that this change was made. It still works in the context of the movie. I like the original lore better, and in the original lore, yeah, Joe Robotnik is dead. He was a good guy. There's up until after they murder his fucking niece. So yeah, there's some lore changes, but also there was supposed to be a whole lot more characters that was going to follow the game. Amy would have been in this. Rouge would have been in it. So to condense things to a movie, you got to make sacrifices, just like when you're adapting a book and whatnot. I think it was mostly fine. I think with Jim Carrey would either stay Jim Carrey or pick Robotnik and not pivot between the two. I'm not a big fan of him sometimes doing the character right and sometimes just being fucking Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad they didn't stick more characters other than Shadow in it, because that would have been too much.
I agree.
By then it becomes a little bit more of a kid's movie instead of, because Sonic I see as it balances out between kids and adult. You got things that the old school adult people like, and then you got things that the kids like. The kids are more familiar with Sonic. They love Sonic. People like you and me, old school, love the games, grew up with the games. Of course, we're going to like it. It's a movie for us.
Yeah, and Sonic is an IP game movie. Is one of those things that's sort of all ages in general. Adults can like it, kids can like it. There's one of the recent problems with several of the games until recently was they had gotten too kid friendly and it turned off a lot of the adult fans, as opposed to back in the day. Literally, it was like Mario or Zelda. Literally anybody of any age could play them, enjoy them. So yeah, I think the movie struck that balance very well.
Yeah, because back in like when it first came out, I remember Sonic the game, it would break the fourth wall. Like if you left your character waiting too long, he'll literally just start tapping his foot and look at his watch and look at you through the screen. Mm-hmm. And just like, I like this. I like this.
Yeah, no, Sega wanted someone with more personality than Mario, because that would be a seller, and it worked. I will take Sonic over Mario any day. I love both, but Sonic is way better than Mario.
Yeah, I would have to agree there. I love Mario. Mario was my introduction to games. Well, I couldn't say introduction to games, more like Mario Teaches Typing was my introductions to gaming. Oh my god, that game was so annoying. But yeah, Mario. It was a fun game, frustrating game, but I love Sonic even more. My very first system, because we had a family system, which was the Nintendo, and then I finally got my very first system, which was the Sega Genesis. And the first game I got for my Sega Genesis was Sega. Was the Sega version of Sonic. Of course, there's only one. You have to excuse me.
No, you're good. You're good. Yes. Go through comments, entertain the audience. Do what you gotta do. I know how it goes.
So yeah. So Sonic was my first game character, followed by Mortal Kombat, which was also one of my favorites.
I don't remember if Sonic was. He was definitely one of my first. I don't know if he was specifically my first. I was playing video games from a very young age. My grandma got cancer. She couldn't really get out and move around, whatnot a lot, so she played a lot of video games. She got herself a gaming PC. She got herself a Nintendo, a Genesis, the whole nine. So I played a lot of games with my granny growing up, everything from Sonic to Duke Nukem when I was way too young to be playing Duke Nukem. But so yeah, Sonic was definitely one of my first, some of my earliest memories. I don't know if it was exactly my first, though.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad that Sonic was one of my first, because it introduced me to, because he had so much personality as a video game character. Whereas Mario, you're just a jumping character. He doesn't have much personality or anything. It's just a jumping character. So for me,
you should, Donovan. They're great. They're good movies, not just good video game movies.
Yeah. And whereas Sonic was my introduction to, hey, this is what a really, really, really good game could be, or should be. And yeah, so I loved Sonic, and the movies I thought were great. They expanded onto his Sonic's personality, is for sure, which is what I liked. I think they did a great job with that. Shadow, I think they did an amazing job with that, with his teleportation, the way he ran.
They got the characters spot on. Keanu did a great job of like mixing a twist on his own voice, mixed with combined with the original actor that did it back in 2001. So yeah, I think they nailed Shadow. He's been one of the. To be fair, they've nailed all the characters. The one that they've done the worst with, in terms of accuracy, is Knuckles, and even then, I love Idris's take on Knuckles, so I don't mind the changes because it still works for the films.
I didn't like their version of Knuckles very much either, but I still loved his character. His character was very amusing. He also had a lot of personality. Whereas the original Knuckles was incredibly stoic, this one was stoic, but still had a lot of personality to him. And I love how they handled him.
And again, Knuckles is a character that they kept the lore more or less correct on. He is an enemy of Sonic at first because of being tricked by Eggman. He does eventually come around. They incorporated the second and third games kind of together in the second movie, and it works. Those old side-scrolling games don't have a lot of story to them, so it's easier to mix, multiple games together to make a movie out of it. And with each film, we've gotten less human stuff, which is what I want to see. As they go on, I want to see more and more of the actual Sonic characters, the Sonic world, and less of, while I don't mind the human characters, in fact, I think they add a lot to it, I want to see more of what makes Sonic Sonic.
The only other supreme gripe that I had with Sonic 3 itself, and Sonic 2, the sister of
Angry Black Sister. I mean,
Angry Black Sister.
She was way worse in 2 than 3. She was in one scene of this one. I wasn't tripping on it because she was in one scene, number 3. But yeah, number 2 it was excessive.
I cannot stand her. The the less I think I prefer her in the first one where there was very little of her.
Right. And when she was there, you had her daughter, who I don't think was in the second or third movie, by the way.
No,
Yeah,
she
you had her daughter. Her daughter. Is her daughter in the second one? Okay, it's been a while since I've seen the second one, but she's the reason Sonic has the shoes he has. It was a cool origin, a little cute like family origin for his high tops that he's kept ever since. So yeah, I didn't mind her in the first one whatsoever, but excessive in the second, and she's only one scene in the third, so I could look past it.
Yeah, the daughter was in the second one. She was the flower girl for the movie in the wedding.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So yeah, it was good. And John, don't you dare mention Sonichu. It is too soon to mention Sonichu. I do not want my channel killed. If I have to have a talk with 8-Bit Eric, I will.
He'll be on the show Monday.
That's great, and I'll definitely be there to catch it. And I've been,
Eric's cool guy. I like Eric a lot.
So much. I am so sorry. So much has been going on.
It's fine. There's a lot of people streaming at a lot of times. I've got 3 streams today. I've got this one, then SNH. After SNH, I'm on Zax's show. Did 4 streams yesterday. Yes, no, it isn't possible to keep up with all of them at all times.
Yeah. The next one is so old school. Left a really bad taste in my mouth.
I have a soft spot for this movie. I do. I have a soft spot for this movie.
It left, when I first saw the movie, I was like, no, this is not my Super Mario. This is not my Mario. Nowadays, it's a cult classic amongst people. I'll watch it and enjoy it as, something different, something that brings humor. Because, there are some things out there that are so bad that they're actually good. And
Sonia, what was your question? You said we didn't even answer your question. What was your question?
What was your question? Yeah, hon.
Yeah, I must have missed it. I'll answer if you post again. Oh, she asked me if we saw the Knuckles series. Yes, everyone hated it. I didn't. I thought it was funny, fun, side adventure. You don't need to see it to see the movies. It didn't need to exist, but for what it was, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was very cute. I liked it a lot. I was kind of hoping there would be a little bit more to it, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was very cute.
Yeah, same. It's again, you do not need to watch the Knuckles series. But if you do watch it, just know that it's not even really a Knuckles series. He's more like of a side character in his own. But when he's there, it's great, and the stuff that comes from it, I enjoy.
Just remember when you watch the Knuckles series, you are watching a spinoff and not the actual Sonic movie. You're watching a spinoff of a side character. So it's like, don't read too much into it. Don't take what you see in the show into one of the Sonic movies, because that's not the case.
Yeah, it literally has nothing. Again, you can. It takes place in between 2 and 3, but you don't need to see it. And then she also says, "Why do you think Shadow is so beloved?" Because
he's a badass.
Sonic's been around for like 10, 12 years at this point. So if you were young when you started playing the Sonic games, you're starting to go a bit older, you were a bit of a teenager, you were a little edgier, and they come out with this fucking all decked out in black, and he's the dark side of Sonic, and like it just hit that sweet spot of late 90s, early 2000s edgelord stuff where all the young boys and girls were like, oh, we're cool, we're adult now. And he was also really well written, had a great backstory. He was also not supposed to come back. He dies at the end of the game he's in. And they didn't realize he would be as popular as he was, so they had to really think of a way to bring him back in subsequent games and whatnot, because he was supposed to be a one and done character. So
yeah, I thought he was cool. He was my favorite. I thought he was badass. So for the Super Mario Bros., I forget what year it came out.
93.
Yeah, thank you so much. When I saw it, I was like, oh my God, what did they do? What did they do to the Koopas? It was just, compared to the game. I was hoping so much more compared to the game, because by then, Mario had actually evolved game-wise.
I mean, yeah, but by the same token, there still wasn't really a story to the games. It was there was, because I think we only had Mario 1, 2, and 3 by this point, and so there wasn't a whole lot of groundwork. This was the first live-action video game movie of all time, and I mean, when you look at it in that regard, it's a bad Mario movie, but it's an interesting movie. The set design's really good. The characters are weird and wild and wacky. We don't really have a lot of Mario didn't really have character before this. I mean, like you said, unlike Sonic, he didn't have an idle animation where he would sit there and do stuff if you just left him alone. He would just stand there. So figuring out what the character of Mario actually was, you had the cartoon, you had the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. Even that had live action elements to it, and I loved the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. But yeah, is this a good Mario movie? No, not at all. But it was the very first live action video game movie. It's got, if they'd call it something else, not Mario, if they'd called it, it's about, Dino Hatton. If they'd have called it Dino Hatton and made the character slightly different, it absolutely would have been looked at differently. So, or maybe it would have been completely forgotten because it would have been generic. Who knows? But
I mean, I appreciate that they tried to go for at least the costumes, but they could have tried harder with character design. They could have tried harder with the character design, like for Princess Peach and Yoshi. They could have tried harder with Yoshi at least. So that's one of the things that also irked me was Yoshi.
Yoshi literally is a miniature little raptor. Also, it wasn't Peach, it was Daisy in the movie.
Yeah.
And Pauline was in it as well. I like what they did with Big Bertha. I thought Big Bertha was funny. And yes, Zilozi, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. They were complete, at least Bob Hoskins. I don't know about John Leguizamo, but Bob Hoskins filmed this entire film basically drunk. The production, making this movie was rough. Production was hell. And he was constantly drunk throughout the filming of it.
I thought he was always drunk in every film he's in.
No, to be fair, Bob Hoskins is a great professional actor, and he took his job on set for the most part seriously. Apparently, this film was just such a nightmare to work on that he was hitting the booze hard during the production.
I can see it.
And yes, Dennis Hopper, interesting take on Bowser.
Yes.
But
it did have some good music.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like Everybody Do the Dinosaur. I still remember that song.
I don't know if that song was around before this movie or not, but I equate the song to this movie.
Yes, exactly. Me too. Every time I hear the song or think about it, that is the first thing that comes to my mind is the dance scene that they had for that. Yes, people, they had a dance scene that dinosaurs actually, well, they weren't really dinosaurs. They were dinosaurs turned human.
Yeah.
Because of something that Bowser was doing. If I do recall.
And yeah, the Super Mario Brothers 3 cartoon was great. Slay every game. I didn't watch that one near as much as I did the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, but I liked both. Yeah.
And then we have the recent Mario Brothers movie that came out. Now that one is animated, but it's still good.
It's so good. The Super Mario Bros. Was the second highest grossing film in 2023, the year it came out after Barbie. And it was fantastic. I loved every bit of it. People were bitching and moaning about, Peach being overpowered. Shut the fuck up. Made sense with the story. She wasn't overpowered. She had lived there literally her whole life. She'd done this whole obstacle course. I think it captured Mario's character and learning about the Mushroom Kingdom. Luigi was spot on.
Some of the things that he did in the movie were spot on, like with the mushrooms and stuff like that. It was.
That's right, Stark of Iron. Thank you for the correction.
With the stars and the mushrooms, it was perfect. I loved it. They did a great job with it. You can tell it had a lot. The person who made it had a real love for the game. And by that time, also though, they also had more to work with. They did have more to work with by then.
Oh, for sure. By this point, there's been 30 plus years of Mario lore, almost 40 years, I think. Actually, I think 1984, 85. We might be the 40th anniversary of Mario this year now that I'm thinking about it, or maybe 41st. But also, I like Chris Pratt did fine. I was defending his casting from the beginning. Everyone was throwing a fit that they didn't like that he was going to be. No, I was one of the few who was like, no, he's gonna be fine. Chris Pratt's a good actor. He's good at doing voice work. I've heard him do voice work before. Also, I don't want Mario in a live action movie to sound like he does in the games because that voice. I love Charles Martinet. I've met him. Dude's a sweetheart. Met him a few times actually. And that said, his voice for Mario would not fit for an entire hour and a half, 2 hour movie. You need a relatively normal voice, otherwise it would just get grating.
Yeah, it would annoy the hell out of me. Like, I don't think I would be able to stand it for any more than at max 20 minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially in the games, he says very few phrases. He says them over and over. Like, if you had an entire sentence in that voice, it would be rough. And then multiple sentences for the entire movie, he's the star of the show. Yeah, no. Again, Luigi also sounded great. Sounded like what would be a realistic take on Luigi's voice. I'm sure the movie has flaws. I have to go back and rewatch my own review of it because I did a review of it on my channel ages ago when my channel was new. Don't go back and rewatch it. It's bad. I'm fat back then. There was no script. I did do it in a Super Mario cosplay though, so that was cool. But yeah, no. All in all, I adore it. It's not better than. I would still rather play the game. I don't know if there's going to be a movie on this list that I think is better to watch than to play. But maybe we'll find out. I don't remember what was on the list. So besides Mario and Sonic, I think Mortal Kombat was on there as well. So beyond that, I think pretty much all these are going to be better as games. But Mario sort of set the standard. A lot of movies lately have set new standards for live action adaptations, or for not necessarily live action, but film adaptations in general. Mario was great. Warcraft was great. Sonic was great. Detective Pikachu was great. I mean, there's been a Fallout, if we're talking about TV shows, was fucking perfection. So I think there's been a new standard set for video game adaptations to film.
Yeah, compared to how their earlier iterations are, especially. So like the earlier iteration, the John Leguizamo, I thought he was okay as Luigi.
Mm-hmm. He was more of an adopted son instead of a brother, which is weird.
Yeah,
but yeah.
And yeah, I thought he was okay as Luigi, but I think in John Leguizamo's case, I think he might have overdone it a bit.
John Leguizamo overdoes everything. Fuck John Leguizamo. Dude sucks. Dungeons and Dragons was better than I thought it'd be. I don't know if I would say it was great, but it was definitely better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, definitely. I actually found that one kind of humorous. I really did. The next one, a lot of people have mixed feelings about. Personally, I love the show. I mean, not the show. Personally, I love the movie adaptation. I love the movie adaptation with Angelina Jolie. Personally, that is my personal opinion.
I haven't seen it in years. I saw it in theaters when it came out. I really liked it when it came out. Watched it several years later. Thought it held up fine. I don't like Angelina Jolie. I don't think she's attractive. I don't think she's a good actress. That being said, this is like the exception to the rule. I do like her as Lara Croft. I like her as a Tomb Raider. Watching this film, it's got a really young Daniel Craig in it, and holy shit, his accent slips in and out so hard. He was a terrible actor back then. I don't know if he's considered a good actor now, to be fair. But yeah, I remember loving this movie when I saw it in theaters.
What's funny is, this movie was actually considered the first female live-action video game movie to be made.
When did this come out? Because I don't think that's true. If that's what they were saying at the time, I don't think that's true. Because I think, yeah, when did Tomb Raider come out? Hold on.
Supposedly, that is people have said that it is the first female live-action character movie.
But this movie came out in 2001. When did the first Resident Evil movie come out? Oh, 2002. Okay, it probably is then. I thought Resident Evil came out before this, but this is probably true. And
I can see, and I think personally, I think they picked the perfect person for the job.
What in terms of Angelina Jolie? Oh yeah, absolutely. She While I don't like
She-
her, exception to the rule, I think she does a great Lara.
I mean, if you take a look at the picture that I have, I mean, she did the pose right. She works with the clothing. She did her own stunts in the movie. She knew the lore. She knew the background of the game. She was a fan of the game.
John Winslow, I gotta disagree with you, by the way. Hackers fucking sucks. Hackers is overrated. By all means, you are entitled to your opinion. Have at it. But I'm going to be entitled to mine, which is fuck Hackers. That movie has always been bad. People just have 90s nostalgia, and so they think it's one of those underrated 90s gems that more people... No, dude. Fuck Hackers. I hate that movie.
I think the first Tomb Raider was probably the best.
Oh, for sure. I only saw the second one once. It wasn't as good as the first. I don't remember it being particularly bad or anything,
Yeah.
but it wasn't as good as the first.
Yeah. The thing is most sequels are like that. Most sequels aren't. Most sequels are rarely as good as the first one.
Okay, he said Leon said she was hot in, not that it was good. Well, to be fair, you said her best movie is what I thought you said. So I assume that meant that you thought it was literally a good movie because you said it was her best. Yeah, Angelina Jolie's best movie was Hacker. She was really hot back then. So yeah, that implied the movie was a good movie as well. But okay, fair enough. I appreciate the correction.
You'd love to see me in Lara Croft crossplay or Louis. I mean, not Leon.
Oh, I could rock a Lara Croft cosplay. Absolutely.
Yeah, Leon, I could definitely rock it.
Nah, CFH 90, like most of those 90s and early 2000s video game adaptations were bad. You had some gems. Tomb Raider was a gem. Like Mario is not good. I love it, but it's not good. Dead or Alive wasn't good. Alone in the Dark wasn't good.
No,
Resident
Alive
Evil
was
is a good zombie movie, but it's a bad Resident Evil movie. Like things like that.
Yeah. I mean, the Resident Evil movie, the only Evil movie I will accept is Resident Evil Apocalypse. That one I liked strictly because of the entertainment factor.
It's the closest to being like the games. It's still not great, but Apocalypse is probably my favorite of all the bad Resident Evil movies. Yeah.
Yes, that's the same here. It's probably one of my favorites. But yeah, Angelina Jolie brought a lot to the table for Tomb Raider, as well as the writer and director. They did a great job on it. The character from the game itself, she had a lot of rough, tough personality, and I think Angelina did a great job pulling that out.
Oh yeah, Angelina can do action roles. While I might not like her, she's one of the few actresses that I could take seriously as an action star.
Yeah. If she were to do another one today, I don't think it would work. I mean, compared to the other Tomb Raider movies as well, the ones that don't have her in them, those
I didn't even see them. I didn't give a. They were about they took
were
from
horrible.
that
They
recent
were bad.
Square Enix reboot. Look, the recent Tomb Raider games fucking suck. So why would I want a movie based off of them? Like, yeah, no, I didn't even bother watching them.
Yeah. Now the next one also had, because I mean, Tomb Raider though, the way they had made Tomb Raider, it was good to the point where if you had played the game, you would go in there, watch it, and like it, give your seal of approval. And if you knew nothing about the game, you could go in there, watch it, and think, oh, I liked this movie. It was a great action movie.
Yeah, I went and saw it with my aunt. I don't know if she played the games or not. She really liked it when we went and saw it together. But again, my granny was a gamer, and my aunt kind of was. She always had. She had a Dreamcast, she had a GameCube, things like that. But I don't know that she ever had a PlayStation. I don't know if she played, but she liked the movie for what it was.
Yeah, definitely.
I love this question. Sienna Gilroy is the best actor to have portrayed a game-based character in the Resident Evil series. She was awesome. She was not a gamer. She openly said she wasn't a gamer, but she took the role so seriously that she would have her friend who was a gamer play the. Now, mind you, this is like 2002 or 2003. There was no fucking YouTube and recording game footage, shit like that. How seriously she took the role. She would have her buddy who was a gamer play through Resident Evil 3 while filming it on his camcorder and send her the VHS tapes so that she could watch how Jill moved, how she acted. She incorporated that into her performance. Honestly, she blows Angelina Jolie out of the water in terms of how well she did the character. So while the movie sucks and while Jill doesn't have a near big enough part, considering Jill is my probably favorite female video game character of all time, probably second favorite character in all of video games. Sienna Gilroy nailed it. I wish we'd have gotten more of her in subsequent films. Adore her performance. Great question.
Definitely.
So there's the name of the movie. Saw on TV one day. Bug off Leon. Hey, I love Matthew Lillard. He ain't enough to save that shitty fucking movie.
Matthew Lillard, I definitely like, especially in Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, he was very good in Five Nights
he
at
was
Freddy's.
awesome.
I like the Five Nights at Freddy's movie a lot. The sequel's coming out this year. I didn't see Five Nights at Freddy's in theaters because I don't give a fuck about Five Nights at Freddy's. I've never played the games. I don't give a shit about the games.
You followed the lore so
that's
well.
That's what all the fans said, was it followed the lore real well. And I ended up watching it when it came to streaming. I end up really liking it, even if I don't know the lore. But if the fans say follow the lore, that's good enough for me. So I'm going to go to the theaters to see the second one just to support it because they did such a good job with the first one.
Yeah, same here. It's like I think they agreed to a 3-movie deal. And so for the sequel, I'm definitely going to go see it. They won me over in the first one, and I am familiar with some of the games.
And to be fair, slay every game. The first Resident Evil movie, like I said, is a fine zombie movie. It's just a fucking terrible Resident Evil movie. But as a huge fan of zombie films, I like it in that regard. But Resident Evil is my favorite video game franchise besides Sonic. So I've got to put the film critic part of me in a different box than the Resident Evil fan part of me.
Mm-hmm. The next one, a lot of people had problems with, but a lot of people also said, I don't see what the problem is.
I again, one I didn't watch. They literally could have just had Mark Wahlberg play Nathan Drake. I don't need young Tom Holland basically playing Tom Holland, not as. And to be fair, I don't really care for these games to begin with. I'm not big on the Uncharted games, so I wasn't looking forward to a movie for it. So yeah, I didn't watch this. I didn't see it, and from everything I heard, it was probably better off that way.
I prefer the Nathan Fillion version of Nathan Drake. They did do a fan.
The short with him. Wait, I've seen that. That's even if someone doesn't really care for Uncharted, that was super good.
I loved that one compared to this one. I got nothing against Tom Holland being Nathan Drake. He played the game. He loved.
You should, because you said earlier in this stream that like you want your adaptations to stay accurate to the character and to look correct and whatnot. And Tom is literally nothing like the character. Again, he's a fine actor. I got no issues with him, but he is nothing like Nathan Drake.
But personally, I do think movie-wise on acting skill, I think he did a great job because he's familiar with the character. He's played the games. He loves the games. I really, 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 really wish they had used Nathan Fillion. But the problem is that they had been through a lot of writes and rewrites for the script for Uncharted. When they had first thought about making an Uncharted movie, Nathan Fillion was the perfect age. He was the perfect fit for the role, and they intended on using him. But the director...
Yeah, he did kind of age out by the time of the movie. Because this movie is recent. It's like 2018
because they kept on finding scripts. They kept on having disagreements with the scripts, so they had to keep on writing new scripts and new scripts and new scripts and new scripts. And by the time they finally found one they liked, he was too old to play the character, which to me I think was a wasted opportunity.
Yes, Sonia, you are very easy to please when it comes to entertainment. That is, I mean, for folks that are easy to please like that, it's sort of a mixed bag, because on the one hand, I admire that certain individuals can be so easy to please and not be a hyper judgmental, critical dickhead like myself. But on the other hand, people that are easy to please spend money on shit that makes the studios think that, oh, this is good enough, and so we don't get high quality good shit because of normies. So a bit of a double-edged sword.
This is one of those movies where, just like Tomb Raider, if you walk in there and you've never played the games, you're not familiar with Uncharted or anything like that, you have no connection to it, you'll probably like it. Now, if you're
I don't know about that, because everyone, like even film critics and whatnot, were like, it's just riddled with plot holes. Like it's not only is it a bad adaptation, but again, I haven't seen it, so I can't speak to it. But from everything I've heard, it's also just a poorly made film, shoddy CGI, a lot of plot holes, characters that have arcs that don't go anywhere.
I will attest to their so the movie is based off of the fourth game in the series, which is the final game, but it does have aspects from the third game. The way the movie starts out, it starts out just as if you were playing a Uncharted game, already in the middle of something. So by then, it won points with me. Not a lot, but it did win some points with me. Nolan North, the guy who voices Nathan, he's in the movie, and
oh, that's cool. Nolan North's a good voice actor.
Yeah, he's in the movie. And the bit he was doing a cameo, and the cameo he did was great.
LMA, I would be much happier with Tom Holland playing Jack than I would fucking Nathan Drake. Yeah, I mean, I put him in a Jack and Daxter film. He could play. I think Tom Holland could play Jack very well. In fact, Jack started off as a mute character, and if they actually had the balls for have Tom Holland not talk, like play the character and only act with his body and face, stuff like that, and that would be awesome. That would be artistic. That would be interesting. I think that would be great.
Yeah, I think if you went into this theater, if you went into this movie, and you just wanted action, you'd probably like it. If you are going into this movie and you're expecting a good story, you know nothing about Uncharted, and you wanted action, you'll be partially pleased because the story is not good. Now, if you're going in there expecting a good video game adaptation, this is not for you. It will get some parts right, but most of it wrong. Which is why I say I think a lot of people have mixed feelings about this game, about this movie, because they were expecting one thing and got something completely different.
Oh, this movie's more recent than I thought. 2022. Okay.
Yeah, it is. It is among one of the most recent.
$407 million at the box office. What was its budget? $120 million. So about broke even, give or take.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons it broke even might have been the star factor, because we had Antonio Banderas in it, we had Tom Holland, and we had Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, and I think if Mark Wahlberg played Nathan Drake, I think it would have been a better film. I really do. Mark Wahlberg's the proper age. I think he looks similar enough. Although to be fair, Mark Wahlberg also did Max Payne, and that was a terrible video game adaptation of one of the greatest games of all fucking time. So
funny you should say that. A previous iteration, just like how in the previous iterations they had Nathan Fillion. Once Nathan Fillion was too old to play the role, or at least too old by Hollywood rules, they thought Mark Wahlberg would be a great version. But too many scripts, too many rights.
He still would have been. I don't think Mark Wahlberg has aged out. I mean, I don't know how old Mark Wahlberg is, but he still looks, in my opinion, the proper age. He could pass for late 30s, which I assume is what Nathan Drake's supposed to be, mid to late 30s.
I don't think he has the acting chops. I really don't.
Interesting. I think Mark Wahlberg is a great actor. He just often they give him generic fucking characters to work with. the whole reason he chose to do The Happening, which is a famously terrible movie. I mean, he's on record as saying he was tired of fucking playing cops. Like he said it with the story. He's like, I was fucking tired of playing cops. He's like, the idea of playing a science teacher was so out of the ordinary of what he usually gets to do that he was excited for it, even though the movie was shit.
I've just never been a fan of him. Like his brother Donnie, I adore Donnie, but then again, I was a fan of New Kids on the Block.
Yeah, I like New Kids on the Block,
and I've met Donnie. I have met Donnie. He's an awesome guy.
Nice.
Super nice. I have a selfie with him. Maybe I should send it to you. I have a selfie of me with him, and he is just he is a sweetheart. Mark is known to be a little bit of a diva. I can't say I'm not a fan, so, but yeah, according to Hollywood, he aged out, and they needed someone younger. That's when Holland came in.
Well, yeah, Holland is still he's too young for me. But again, since I'm not a fan of these games, to be fair, I probably wouldn't have seen the movie anyway. I'm not the target audience for this one, so I can't say too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, understandable. Because that's another.
Yes, yeah, I listened to him back when he was Marky Mark, and I loved Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I had that album. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, it's another thing is you're also definitely also the key audience, and I don't think Uncharted had a key audience. At least not in my opinion. It didn't seem like they were advertising towards a key audience.
Donovan says, I see Holland, I see Peter Parker. Well, you shouldn't, because he's not playing Peter Parker. He's playing fucking Iron Man Jr. He's such a terrible Peter Parker. It's not his fault. It's just written really shitty. He's a terrible Peter Parker as well. Tom Holland gets shafted, in my opinion. I'm sure Tom Holland has acting chops. My God, I don't think he's ever done a good movie.
I liked him as Peter Parker, and I'll tell you why. The version that they were going for was the young, awkward high school. And when he auditioned, the people already said he was awkward. And
that's totally fine.
And the Peter Parker versions, okay, so you have the Andrew Garfield. His Spider-Man was a bit too edgy.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield sucked as well. We've only had one good Spider-Man and one good Peter Parker, and it's Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire, I thought, made a great Peter Parker. Tom Holland, I think, brought a balance to it. And I have a feeling Spider-Man 4 is going to make things a little bit better.
I've wasted enough time and money on the 3 Spider-Man movies, and I'm going to be real. I can't fucking... Spider-Man's my favorite superhero of all time, and they've butchered him in the MCU. I'm tired of seeing him butchered.
Now, this one, if I do recall, got laughed at a lot, but it is one of my personal favorites. The actor in there, sadly, one of the best actors in there, one of my favorite actors in there, sadly has passed away shortly after the movie came out, and that is Raul Julia. And that is Street Fighter.
Street Fighter's great. I love Street Fighter. I think that they made a mistake making Guile the main character.
Yes.
But because beyond that, I love the Street Fighter movie, and Raul Julia as Bison is awesome.
Yes, it was. He did a great job. It's a shame he died of. It's a shame he died of natural causes afterwards.
What was it? It was liver cancer, wasn't it?
Heart.
Okay, heart. Gotcha.
He had a heart problem.
What up, Cass? Nice to see you here,
hey,
girlie.
Cassie, how you doing?
But yeah, I think this movie is awesome. Again, I would rather play the game. However, Street Fighter is a game that you don't think has a story unless you actually do the research and the reading and whatnot. But Street Fighter's got an incredibly in-depth story. This movie doesn't really follow it. But also, I don't think at the time it came out, I don't think Street Fighter really did have a story. It's something that's come along, with age. But I think I love Guile. I love not Dolph Lundgren. Oh my God, I'm blanking on
Oh my God. No.
Jean-Claude Van Damme as
Yes,
Guile. I think
thank
is
you.
great. I think the casting for this in general, this is one of those early adaptations of like all the characters do look like they did in the games.
With the exception of Ken. Ken was poorly casted.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, they also changed Ken's character a bit. I think he's one of the worst ones in terms of like being accurate to the game.
Yeah. I remember I was like, when I first saw Ken, I was like, no, just no.
If you want a good Street Fighter movie, guys, while this one's great and hokey and fun and cheesy, the anime films are actually good fucking movies. The Street Fighter 2 Alpha V is a great movie. There's some a couple of Street Fighter anime series that are good. Yeah, watch the Street Fighter anime. It's awesome.
Yes, it definitely was. This next one is a personal favorite of mine. It's a personal favorite of a lot of people.
It's gonna be Mortal Kombat, isn't it?
Ta-da!
Am I right?
Good
Yeah. The first Mortal Kombat movie is fine enough.
Oh.
I like it. It's not great, but I definitely do enjoy it. The second one is absolute dog shit. I hate it. And then
Everybody did.
Oh, dude.
Everybody hated all the sequels.
The newest one, the one that came out in 2020-ish, a lot of people hated that one too. I liked it. I saw it in the movie theater twice.
I hated it.
Really?
Yes, I did not like it. I thought it was stupid.
I like the recent one. I like the first one. The only one I don't like is Annihilation.
I like the first one. I like it a lot better. The story for it, good for what it was. It followed the lore. It definitely really actually did a good job of following the lore. Some of the only things that really irked me were was not casting, but Shang Tsung, the age they had him for. He should have been a little bit older.
Yeah, you could say the same for Raiden, to be fair. Raiden and Shang Tsung both should have been older. And yo, what up, Furious Dan? Nice to see you, brother.
Um,
Man, I won't lie, I didn't mind that cast. Like, is it dumb and weird and Mortal Kombat, I don't. You know what?
Gave
I would rather. This is the first one where I would rather watch the movies than play the games. I don't fucking like Mortal Kombat games. I don't. I'm not a fan. I'm a tournament fighting game. I'm a technical fighter fan. I go to fighting game tournaments. I love Street Fighter. I love Marvel vs. Capcom. I love Smash Bros. I love Dragon Ball Fighters. I do not like the way Mortal Kombat plays. I've never liked its combat system. It's got some great characters, but as a game, I do not have fun playing them. I think that they are far worse technical fighters, and the main appeal is the blood, the gore, the fatalities. They're all cool, but I can just Google and YouTube all those scenes and as opposed to play it. So I would actually rather watch these movies than play the games.
What's funny though is Mortal Kombat. It was the first game. It was the first fighting game to actually to actually show any type of gore.
Yeah, and that also depends on where you were in the world or what system you were playing on. And Nintendo censored it. I think certain regions of Sega censored it. The arcade showed everything. And don't get me wrong, it was innovative for the time, but not just the modern games. To be fair, cast like I had Mortal Kombat 3 on the SNES, and like when I had Mortal Kombat 3 and Street Fighter 2, and let me tell you, I played Street Fighter 2 a fuck of a lot more than Mortal Kombat 3, and I think Mortal Kombat 3 is probably the best Mortal Kombat. And even then, it's still just like serviceable.
I gotta say, I liked the old school Mortal Kombat games, but when they started bringing in things like the animalities and the friendships and the babalities and stuff like that, I was like, no, now it's just stupid. They had some good characters in the old school games, and even then, each of those characters had lore. My favorite character to use was Melina.
Melina's great. I was a Johnny Cage guy. When I do play the games, I play Johnny Cage. I also like Baraka a lot.
Yeah, and it had some great characters, and it had some great gameplay. It wasn't the world's greatest. There's always better fighting games. To me, it has I have a soft spot in my heart for it. The first movie, the original movie, I absolutely adore.
I mean, man, y'all know who's going to be playing Johnny Cage in the new, the one coming out this year?
No.
Carl Urban.
Oh God.
I think that's going to be good. Carl Urban is Johnny Cage. I'm fucking all in. Let's go. I love Carl Urban.
I don't know what to think about that. I really, really don't.
Mortal Kombat isn't technical, never was. People who try to take it seriously like that only fool themselves. Okay, you know what? But it's touted as a technical fighter. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe you're right, Cass, but it's touted as a technical fighter. People hold it up to games like Tekken, like Street Fighter, like Marvel vs. Capcom, and like King of Fighters, things like that. Fuck all that noise. Mortal Kombat is not. It bothers me because again, I like the lore, I like the characters, but I do not like playing the game, and that's kind of important when it's a game.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly, Cassie. Anybody who tried to take it seriously really, really were only fooling themselves because it's a fun game. That's exactly what it is. It's a fighting game meant for fun. Kind of like Dead or Alive game meant for fun.
I fucking love Dead or Alive. That's a terrible fucking video game adaptation movie. The Dead or Alive movie is god awful. I still like it. It's so bad it's good. But I love the games. Dead or Alive games are my favorite fighting games. Virtua Fighter's up there as well. Fuck, I love Virtua Fighter. I have to clock back into work, but as long as we stay slow, it should be fine.
Yeah, it was I mean, like I said, personally, I like it. I adore it. It will always have a soft spot in my heart. Just like the games. The next one, I don't think anybody liked. I honestly do not think, and I hope they do not do this again. I don't know what in their fucking right mind said, hey, this would be a good idea.
This is another game that I don't like. Like, I don't give a fuck. Don't get me wrong. For people that are fans of Borderlands, I'm sorry you guys got such a shitty Borderlands movie, but I don't fucking. I have not liked Borderlands from the jump, from the get-go. I don't think I even made a video covering this because I was like, if I'm not a fan of the games, why would I give a shit if the movie was bad? But yeah, dude, everyone hated this. It's one of the lowest grossing movies. I think it's one of the lowest grossing movies of all time, budget to sales ratio. But the casting in this is just dog water.
It was horrible. Everybody that they picked was definitely the wrong age for the characters that they were playing. It was just the writing, dog shit. The characters that they used in the actors, dog shit. The director who did this, I don't know what I don't know what game.
The director, I actually usually like his work. Oh my god, who was the director?
I don't know what Gearbox was thinking. I mean,
Eli Roth. I usually like Eli Roth films. So yeah, I have no idea what happened here because Eli Roth has done a lot of good movies, in my opinion. Let's see.
I loved Borderlands 1 and 2. 3 was total shit. It was rushed. It was obvious. It was virtue signaling. 3 was just total dog shit. I wish they had never come out with 3. Number 2 was anybody who's played Borderlands 2. Awesome to you. I loved Borderlands number 2. It was the best one. It was the cherry on top. Had they given some of the fighting schematics from 3 into Borderlands 2, I think it would have been the perfect game as far as the Borderlands series goes.
Also, Cass, I don't know what you mean saying that he hasn't made a good movie in a long time. He recently did was it Thanksgiving? Or I think it was just Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is good. Let's see what else has he done recently? Because I mean, to be fair, yeah, a lot of his work, a lot of his best work is older stuff. You're right. Grindhouse.
Grindhouse
Planet
was good.
Terror. Death Proof. Clown was 2014. I like Clown.
Oh, Clown? Oh, Sonia should totally see that.
Sonya, don't watch Clown. You will.
Yeah.
You will not be a fan. Okay. To be fair, Cass is right. Aside from Thanksgiving, it's been a while since he's made a good movie.
Another thing that when it came to Mortal Kombat, the one thing I found was mildly entertaining was the TV show.
I never watched it. I know it exists, but I've never seen an episode of the Mortal Kombat cartoon.
No, I'm talking about the live action TV show. They had a live action TV show that was actually fairly decent.
I didn't know that. I know there was a YouTube series, like Mortal Kombat Forever or something like that. I don't remember what it was called, but that was really good. It was entirely fan made YouTube series. Yeah, I didn't know it had like a live action like television show. Like I said, it had a cartoon back in the 90s, but I never watched it.
Yeah, no, there was a live action TV series. It was on one of those TV channels that showed, like CW, wasn't exactly a very popular channel. So, but anyways, the TV series for Mortal Kombat was actually fairly decent. It was different.
Okay, Juman says it was on USA.
Oh, it was on USA.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was. I literally never knew that was a thing.
I thought it was on something different. Okay, thank you, Adam.
USA got some bangers though. USA had Burn Notice, which is fucking great.
Mm-hmm. But the Borderlands movie, the moment somebody thought of that idea, they should have been dragged out into the streets and stoned or something, because that was just a bad idea. That was just
its box office end up making, because it was something absurdly small.
I think it was considered one of the worst movies.
Yeah, it made $33 million on a $120 million budget. It only made $15 million here in the US. And then the rest it made overseas. So yeah, it made $15 million here in America. What a joke.
They didn't even break even.
They didn't come close. I think it's the biggest flop of last year financially.
Yeah, if I do recall, it was considered one of the worst movies to ever come out game-wise. Sammy.
Yeah, like I said, this movie was a joke, but since I don't like the games, I'm seeing a pattern here with the games that I didn't like. This, Uncharted, they're all modern.
Yeah, and even with some of the classic movie games, as you've mentioned, like Dead or Alive and stuff like that, even those ones, it was like they were dipping. It was like they're dipping their toes in the water to see if it worked, and I don't think they actually even learned their lesson from that. Because in some cases, it's like some of the video game adaptations that are coming out. Some people think, oh, we can do our own story, our own thing, and people will like it automatically just because it's the IP. And they don't realize, no, that doesn't work. It's not how it works. Maybe
when there's IP farming, I mean, Dragon Ball Evolution the same way. The director is like, oh, whatever, it'll make money because it's Dragon Ball. I just want a paycheck. Yeah, I think for the most part, Hollywood's gotten away from that. They realize that at least when it comes to video game movies, they have to be somewhat accurate and respect the lore, respect the fans. I say that, but we also have motherfucking Minecraft coming out next month. So,
you mean
Yeah, this. I found out in about 2023 that I love Minecraft. I used to hate Minecraft, and then I actually sat down and honestly, I just need something. Because at the time I was I had quit drinking at the time. I drink again now, but far less. But so I was like, I just need something to keep my mind occupied. So I'm going to listen to a podcast, play Minecraft, live the sober life. And I found out I really enjoy Minecraft as a way to relax. So yeah, fuck everything about this movie. Also, fuck putting Jack Black in all these video game movies.
I know.
Like Bowser. Okay, fine. He did a fine job as Bowser. I'll give it a pass. Whatever. He did a fine job as Bowser. I'm tired of that fucking Peaches song. He did fine. Then Claptrap. Now this. Like, guys, can we give Jack Black a goddamn rest? I don't even like him nowadays as very much as an actor or as a musician, despite the fact he used to be one of the GOATs. But now he is just. If a video game movie comes out, he has to be in it. So once they inevitably do make a Legend of Zelda movie and they cast him as Tingle, I'm gonna be so goddamn annoyed.
Yeah, I am not looking forward. I mean, Jason Momoa, the way they have him being casted is just absolutely insane.
Jason Momoa looks like shit. The movie looks like shit. The CGI, like everything about this goddamn movie looks like a travesty. It is literally just made to get kids, to parents to take their kids to shut the fuck up and make a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a movie that should have been made 10 years ago, by the way. And I've seen some great. Minecraft dominated the YouTube algorithm in like 2013, 2015. So many fan-made Minecraft projects were amazing. That being said, I'll probably end up seeing this movie because I'm sure it will be so legendarily bad that it'll be talked about on every stream for a fucking week. And while I normally do not agree with hate watching, I'm almost curious about this train. I'm curious enough about this train wreck to possibly see it in theaters. We'll see. Jury's still out.
You couldn't pay me to go see this movie. Even on a hate watch basis, you could not pay me to see this movie. I'm not a fan of Jason Momoa. I am, as far as Jack Black goes, I think he's okay as an actor. Not the world's greatest, but he's decent enough to hold his own. If you give him the right role. But as far as Minecraft goes, I just see it as like another flop, just like Borderlands. I really do. And just like Borderlands, I don't see what gave people the idea or the thought that this would be a good movie. Chat, what do you think? Just want to take a moment to get some of the chat's opinions. Let's see. Jason Momoa is turning into The Rock and JB from CFH. Thought he was good in Stargate Atlantis, but I'm so over seeing him. Agreed. I mean, they even stuck him in The Mandalorian. Now, I'm not a big fan of Mandalorian, but they even stuck him and Lizzo in The Mandalorian, which I thought was a super bad idea. Yes, John is a secret.
Oh yeah, I don't like Jason Momoa. I've never liked Jason Momoa except for in Stargate Atlantis. Whoever said that, based. Good answer. That's the only time to like Jason Momoa. I don't like him as fucking Aquaman, who is a great superhero. I don't like him as Duncan. Like, his acting was fine in Dune, but he wasn't playing Duncan. Duncan is nothing like that. Yeah, no, fuck Jason Momoa.
Yeah. Whoops. Sorry, wrong button. To bring in some honorable mentions, I didn't make the thumbnails for them because it was killing me. I'd have to say Doom.
Oh, the one with The Rock, the 2003 movie or whatever. That movie sucks. I love it.
No, I saw it in theaters and I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" It was.
I didn't see it for the first time until I was like probably 21 years old, living. No, because I was living on my own for the first time. So I was 17 or 18 years old when I first saw it. I never got it in theaters or whatnot. I was way late to the Doom party, but God, that movie is terrible, and it's so fucking good.
I think it had The Rock and Vin Diesel in it, didn't it?
No, it was The Rock and Carl Urban.
Oh, okay. Well, it was. I didn't like the movie, but I liked the game.
Oh yeah, Doom games are great. I fucking love the Doom games.
Yeah,
I was on Kate's stream yesterday, and we were ranting and raving about the new Doom game coming out. Doom Dark Ages looks like it's going to be one of the best games of the year. Holy shit! We're going to talk about it on SNH tonight. Oh, I can't wait. Doom 1 is great. Doom 2 really fucking good. Doom 3 best out of all the classics in my opinion. Doom 3 was a game changer. I say classic. I think that came out like by that point Xbox 360. You could play Doom on a fucking calculator at this point. Who hasn't played Doom? And then the remakes, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. I don't know if there's ever been a bad Doom game.
From what I understand, well, I can't say from what I understand. A lot of people didn't like the 2016 Doom because I missed out on that one.
Oh no, Doom 2016 is lauded for basically bringing the franchise back to relevance. 2016, I like the sequel better, Eternal, but 2016 was really fucking good.
Another one, Dead or Alive, like you mentioned, that was crap.
I think Dead or Alive away bowl. Hold on a second, I gotta check.
In my opinion, it was crap. I don't quite know what it made money wise, but to me it was crap. I didn't like it.
Oh no, that's Corey Yoon. Okay, that wasn't a away bowl movie. Fair enough. Yeah, no, Dead or Alive is terrible. And you would think for having an Asian director and it being a Japanese game, they'd do it right, but no.
Yeah, and what's funny though is that when it comes to certain types of movies, like anime movies, the Japanese seem to be a lot better at it. Better at making the live actions. When it comes with one exception that I think, and that's the One Piece TV show on Netflix.
The One Piece TV show was I adored One Piece TV show, and I mean Japanese make good movies. There's a lot of Japanese live action films I love. I don't think this guy was Japanese. He was an Asian director, but I mean he's American. Ashley Tyler, you've never played Doom?
What?
Bitch! After this fucking stream, go out there and play some motherfucking Doom.
I'll play it after the stream. But yeah, it's just, and like you said, the Resident Evils, the Resident Evil series, it's just good zombie. But they needed to focus on different characters. Alice was okay.
You need to not make Alice the fucking star. Alice is not the star. In fact, Alice goes against the core of Resident Evil. The whole idea behind Resident Evil is regular people. Well, regular. I mean, rookie cops, college girls, things like that. Nowadays, they're a bit more overblown, but early Resident Evil is about regular people put in impossible situations. When your main character is a goddamn superhero, that defeats the purpose of what the game is trying to do.
Her main character, she was a scientist, wasn't she?
No, she was head of security.
She was security.
She was head of security. Not Wes Anderson, Faye. Wes Anderson's a good director. Paul W.S. Anderson. And to be fair, he wasn't married to her yet. It was because of those films he married her. But yeah, no, I agree. They're just an excuse for Paul W.S. Anderson to make movies for his wife to be in, 100%. And he always does shitty video game movies. He's the one that did Mortal Kombat. He did all the Resident Evils. He did Monster Hunter. Paul W.S. Anderson has only ever done one good movie, and it's Event Horizon. Which, again, is not a video game adaptation.
I never saw Monster Hunter. Never saw it.
Monster Hunter is garbage. It's a fucking isekai. It's about these soldiers that get transported from our world to... No, I remember the Paperboy game. I just, excuse me, was trying to find a joke there about it's already been made and then insert a movie, but I couldn't think of a movie that was based around male to make the joke about. But yes, no, I do remember Paperboy. But anyway, yeah, no, Monster Hunter was a travesty. It's honestly possibly worse than the Resident Evil movies.
Yeah, the Resident Evil movies, I agree with you. Alice should not have been a thing. Um, they should have reworked the they should have done a rework for the movies. Should there have been Resident Evil movies in the first place? I don't know. That's a tough one. I
They're
mean,
making a new one. It was just announced yesterday. There's a new Resident Evil movie coming out by a different director. It has no relation to the Alice movies. This will be the third time they've tried to do, because after those shitty ass Paul W.S. Anderson movies were done in 2017, we got a Resident Evil movie called Welcome to Raccoon City, and it tries to mix the
That was
first and
horrible.
second game together. That one is even worse than the fucking Paul W.S. Anderson ones, because it tries to stay faithful, and it does it in such a shitty way. They try to combine the first and second game into one movie. You can't do that. Games are already hours upon hours long. You can't take two different hours upon hours long stories, shove them together. They made Leon fucking Latino. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I hate it. I'll be back in a moment. I gotta step away again.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what that means?
Oh no.
Yeah, deal with it. I'm here now. Hello, everybody. We're talking about we're shitting on Resident Evil movies.
Yes.
I can do that. Yeah, I only watched like maybe the first two. After that, it just went completely off the rails, and I couldn't be asked to waste my time with that shit. So yeah, but I'm here.
Yeah. Apocalypse. It was okay, but the fact that they're doing a reboot. Oh man, not another one.
Well, you see, Hollywood is what we call creatively bankrupt, and so that will tend to happen.
Yes, that much is true.
But
You'll have your chance, Stark. You'll have your chance. Don't worry.
Yes. Well, I mean, I have keys to the studio, so it's not like anybody can really stop me. I just kind of come in here, rummage around some things, do all sorts of stuff at my leisure. But I think everyone's earned this, because I mean, they would much rather deal with this than me. So, see, I know what the people want, and what they want is gooning. So, you're welcome. And if I'm here for much longer, we'll do another cleanse. But seeing as how I broke the stream, what's going on? We got like 10 minutes left. We're getting close to the end of things. And there's Leon. So, I'm gonna fuck off now. So
Right. Yes. No. I left to turn my camera off to goon. Alrighty. Where were we? That's right. I was saying that they made fucking Leon Latino. They made Jill black. They completely changed Wesker's character. They completely changed Jill's character. They Neil McDonough is a great actor. I think he could do a fantastic Birkin, but that's not the character they wrote. Fuck. Are we starting to get busy at work? Give me 1 second. Might have John hop back in. This might be worrisome. Bear with me.
aha! I'm back. You can't get rid of me. Like internet herpes. Just when you think I've left, flare up again. Anyways, yeah,
Cleanse the stream.
I am here for both moral support and obviously mental anguish. This is the thing that I provide. But yeah, more cleansing.
Yes.
Just saying, Lana's not the only one shooting during that little cutaway.
Yeah, but you're right on that. The Hollywood has no original ideas, so they're just picking on things that already exist. Existing IPs, so you got cartoons, American cartoons, you got Japanese anime, you got video games, TV shows. That's IPs that already exist, that they're picking on and think that they can push the story in any way that they want to.
Right. And generally, the way that they want to push the story is into girl boss territory, who had the power within her always.
Only recently have they. Well, I shouldn't say only recently, but most of the time, yes, that is the case. If there is a female in the game that has some point in time played a lead or come close to playing the lead, they will stick her in there and make her as girl boss as possible. I think the only exception for that was Tomb Raider. She deserved.
Well, speaking of Tomb Raider, have you seen the travesty that was put on Netflix? The series that they did, where everyone's gay. Yay! We're all animated and gay. Yay! There's crying in every episode. Lara doesn't have her guns. Like I say, everyone is gay. Like very, very straight written characters that were like straight up like just crushing puss are like now just like getting ready to get bent over and railed and pegged left and right. So it is one of the most disheartening things to see in terms of what has happened to Lara Croft in recent years. And not to get into that subject, but one of her biggest fans, I can understand perhaps part of her mental break in recent times might have to be due to just the sheer cringe overload of
real quick, UK Gamer. Hold on.
Yes, let's bring that back up. Gamer. There we go. Sorry. We're wrestling for the control. I'll let you do it. My hands are off the control board. There you go.
UK Gamer. Hollywood failed when the bookworms went after them for ruining books, so they thought they would go after games. They didn't realize that gamers are an angrier bunch than the bookworms. So I don't know about that. I mean, I think we got like an equal amount of anger issues when it comes to movies and stuff.
Oh, see, this is when you need Stark of Iron here to tell everybody.
Well, he'll be here in February.
Oh, well, I mean, yesterday he spent a good chunk of reality-based doing all that he could to coax me through my anger management issues. Evidently, people seem to think I have some of those during the streams. I don't know what that's about. But
we'll be here in February.
Well, I'm sure that will be a fun-filled, interesting show full of song and dance. The song, of course, being provided by Tony. The dance, well, you got feet, so you'll know if you are not well versed in the stylings of Tony Stark, the Internet Iron Man, Stark and Iron. You should go check out his many live streams throughout the week on his YouTube channel. He does Stark parties on Mondays. It's generally where you can find me on what used to be my day off.
So, chat, what is out of these movies, do you have favorites?
What is here? I honestly, I did enjoy the original Capcom branded everywhere Street Fighter movie, just simply because of the sheer, just insanity of it all. Wasn't like, good in a technical sense, but you could really sense the charisma
bouncing in just a moment, but
I
should be able to bounce back and forth here in a moment.
No worries. I'm just going to bounce out here. I just wanted to again point out like Jean-Claude Van Damme and Kylie Minogue banging like rabbits coked out of their gourds during Street Fighter. With that said, let me fuck off again.
So yeah, boys, they're making another new Resident Evil coming out soon. We'll probably talk about it on Countercast Monday because I'm so fucking tired of them fucking up Resident Evil movies. I've got no faith. And what sucks, it's a very good director. I don't know if anybody saw Barbarian, but it's the director from Barbarian, and which is a great movie. Awesome horror, very, very unique. And it's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
I might just have to stay out here. I might just
John.
have to what? Oh, that's right. I showed up. So you know what that means, everybody. Yeah,
Well, no,
right.
I mean,
Get your
just so you know,
Kleenex ready.
I'm still here. I'll have to
Okay,
bounce back and forth a few times over the course of the next 5 minutes, but I should be able to manage both.
All right.
This is something that requires a lot of waiting on my end. So,
Oh, no
yeah,
problem.
you know what
don't
else
worry.
requires
I
a
know.
lot of waiting?
Yeah.
I will
Leon
be-
is also simultaneously at work, just so people know. That's why he's popping in and out. And he is
Phrasing.
being awesome enough to come in here and participate in the stream, which is what makes him a great guest.
yeah, it's been a relatively slow day up to this point. I guess it's just something broke, should be easy to fix. I do IT. I just got to bounce out now and again to do some quick fixes. But yeah.
But yeah, I can't believe they're doing another reboot. Like I said, and like John said, Hollywood's out of ideas, and they're just going after already established IPs, be it book, be it anime, be it cartoon, be it video games, be it board games. It doesn't end, and it makes me wonder if it will end ever.
Doubtful. I mean, Hollywood may end before that kind of mentality does at this point.
But yeah, you do have some hidden gems here and there.
Like a jewel in a goat's ass, as the expression goes.
No, more like
Surrounded by a lot of shit.
The ones that we have mentioned, like Sonic the Hedgehog, that was a hidden gem.
Yeah. I have actually never watched any of those movies. No one noticed my comment earlier, because I just haven't.
So, well,
not that I have a problem with James Marsden or anything like that. I don't even have a problem necessarily with the idea of a Sonic movie. Just didn't watch it.
Hey, catch you later, Donovan. You have a good rest of your day, bud.
Bye, Donovan. Hope it's going well.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, technically, we are at that old 90-minute mark, so perhaps we will segue out as soon as we find a convenient moment for Leon. Until then,
yeah, it's your guys' world. I'm just living in it. However you run it, I'm game.
So, basically, John, hide yourself.
Hide myself? Am I exposed? Oh, I know what you mean.
Poof, that's what I mean. So, out of all the ones that we've listed, though, so far, aside from Sonic, which I know you absolutely adore, which do you actually think are probably your favorites and most successful?
Oh, the most successful is Mario. That's the most successful video game adaptation of all time. $1.5 billion successful. And it's probably my favorite as well, the most recent Mario movie. I like Sonic more, but that was probably my favorite. And then
live action Mario.
We didn't talk about Detective Pikachu or Warcraft, but if we're gonna throw ones that were on the list, I think Warcraft kind of kick-started this stuff being good adaptations. I think it's the first truly good video game adaptation we ever got was Warcraft, and Detective Pikachu soon followed. So those are both up there. Neither really made the money they needed for us to get sequels or whatnot. But yeah, Warcraft, Mario Bros, and Detective Pikachu. None of them are as good as Sonic. They're all up there for me.
So live action Mario Brothers is that one of your favorites?
No, I'm talking about the recent CGI one. Yeah. Live action one it's fun. I like it. I'll watch it, but it's not good. So we're talking about like good adaptations. I can't in good conscience have Mario in that discussion.
Yeah, out of the ones that we've covered, I gotta say my favorites have got to be, of course, Mortal Kombat, Tomb Raider, and also Sonic. Of course, I gotta say Sonic takes first place for me.
Right.
Followed by Tomb Raider. I'm a big fan of Angelina Jolie, but I'm also a huge fan of the games, and I think she did a great job taking over that role. And then, of course, Mortal Kombat, it was fun. It followed the lore. Did it need work on certain characters? Yeah, but overall, the first movie did a great job, and it was awesome enough for me. Out of the mentionables, that's a tough one. I would have to agree with you on the Mario Brothers, and also Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's for sure. That's another one that was, again, very good. I'm not familiar with the lore, but I know a lot of people who are. They loved it. I liked the movie, even though I've never really played the games. So all in all, yes, definitely shout out to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Well, as John said, we've reached the 90-minute mark, which is pretty much how long the show runs. Sometimes it runs a little bit longer, but oh, and there's hello Hondo, the real star. Yeah, I just heard him say hello. Does he have a favorite?
Whichever one where the cats die, I'm assuming is going to be his favorite.
Definitely, as I've told previous guests before, I would definitely like to have you on again at a later date. Naturally, of course, I'll let you know way ahead of time. And it'll hopefully be on a day where you are not working. You're a great guest to have.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a fun discussion. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. As soon as I thought of the idea, I was like, Leon's got to be it. He's the perfect person.
Yeah. This is one that was very easy to talk about.
Yeah. So I got to ask, what you got coming up?
Well, within an hour and a half, we're going to be doing Saturday Night Hypnosis. After that, I'll be on Zax's show, Circle of Jerks. And then, tomorrow, maybe a solo stream. We shall see. I'm not committed to it yet, but we might be doing a solo stream tomorrow. So keep your eyes out for that. I'll be back in just a moment.
Yes. John, what do you have coming up?
What does John have coming up? Well, today is done for me, but tomorrow will be a episode of Will of the Fans, bright and early. We do those at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 a.m. Pacific. And of course, I'll be on the Old White Road with the rest of the reality-based people representing at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Probably do some stuff with Toasty if she's doing anything in the afternoon, and then I usually kick it at the end of the day to clear my mind from the week's journey by hanging out with Stupenzo. And then I usually used to have Monday off, but ever since Tony Stark has become a thing in my life, I end up hanging out at the Stark parties on Monday nights. I believe those start at 7 p.m. Eastern. 4 p.m. Pacific, and yeah, I'm me, like I said, I'm all over the internet. You can't get rid of me. Even people have been trying. People want to not have too much to do with me, but I'm on so many channels you can't get rid of me. But anyway, that's that. Yeah, I'll be around. I do.
Leon, the shows you're going to be on. You think you can give us some times for them?
Oh well, it might help if he were here, but he seems to have completely.
John.
I didn't do anything. What? Here.
Sorry, I accidentally bumped the refresh button and it kicked me. What were you saying?
Yeah.
I was saying,
like I did something.
I did something. The shows you're going to be on. Can you give us a good times?
Oh yeah. So again, SNH is literally an hour and a half. 7 o'clock Central Time. Immediately following that is Circle of Jerks, so like 10 o'clock Central Time, give or take. If I do a solo stream tomorrow, it'll probably be around 6 or 7 p.m. Not married to the idea yet, not sure. But we'll see how it goes. And then Monday Countercast will be at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time with 8-Bit Eric as our guest. And just the new cool regulars. I think Mugen Lord's going to be there for sure. There's a lot to talk about, so it's going to be good.
So if you do a solo stream tomorrow, is it going to be like a gaming one or?
No, we do a solo stream tomorrow. I'm probably going to be going over Matt Walsh's recent anime video, and the Alyssa Mercante David Jaffe stream.
Oh yeah.
That, or I might just do some reaction videos and hang out with the chat. I truly don't know. I just know that last Sunday did a surprise stream with Spoon, and folks ended up really enjoying it. So maybe we'll do another. Like I said, haven't decided yet.
Okay. As far as I go, since I'm a mod, I'm a little bit almost all over the place. You can catch me at 8 o'clock Eastern PM doing my mod thing with at Saturday Night Hypnosis, as well as modding for Leon when I remember, and also when work does not pull me away from him, as well as Angry Badger, Diabolical Souls. Streaming wise, Monday through Friday, I will be streaming at 11:30 p.m. SCOOBYPUP'S Barcade. I will be covering and playing the video game Code Vein. So far, we've had a lot of fun doing that and a lot of raging at the same time. But with each episode, I hope and pray that the game raging will be less and less. Doesn't seem to be the case, but we're not giving up. We're going to be playing that game all the way to the very end. And once we finish that game, we're going to bring out a new show called SCOOBYPUP'S Refuse. I've yet to figure out a time for that one. So that one's an in the making project. Keep an eye out for it. And then, of course, every Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern, is SCOOBYPUP'S PAWCAST. Haven't quite figured out who's going to be the guest next week because my work schedule has not released yet. So once my work schedule gets released, I'll figure things out and make the announcement as towards whether we will be having a show or not and who the guest is.
Oh, final thing, if I can do one more bit of self-promotion. Guys, I did put out a video today. I know video output's been relatively slow lately. I've only been doing a couple a week instead of every single day. But I did put out a video today. It's doing real well. Check it out. It's about some side-scrollers, the Real Game Awards controversy. And the Side-Scrollers podcast, Stubborn Craig, did respond in the comments. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, feel free to go check that out on my channel if you guys are so inclined.
Oh yeah, he has some of the coolest shorts, guys. Definitely check out his videos, his shorts, check out his content, subscribe to Leon. Would really appreciate it. And take a visit to his streams, drop likes, he's out there. He's doing good stuff. And
thank you very much. I truly appreciate that.
Yeah, and thank you so much for coming on. It was really appreciated.
I was happy to do it.
And hopefully we'll do it again. Different topic, but we'll do it again.
You guys in the chat, thank you all so much as well. You've been very gracious to welcome me. I appreciate it.
Thank you all for coming in. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, Christos. Thank you, Stark of Iron. Cassie, Cult Classic Cage. Thank you, Cassie. All of you, thank you so much for coming on in. It was so great. I hope to see you guys all at SCOOBYPUP'S Barcade and at the next stream. Thanks.